Hi, there's a question I get asked from time to time, which is how do you put a thick black outline onto a piece of text? Well, there's in fact three methods that I have used. I'll show you all three methods and you can use the one that suits you best. Here's the first one. Let's take a piece of text. If we use Xara's built-in line width tool, you'd think that would do the job for us. Let's set the line width to 8 pixels. As you can see, it's already looking ugly. That's because the 8 pixel thick line is actually drawn on top of the outline of the text and not outside the outline of the text. So clearly this is not going to do the job for us. So we need a workaround. Here's the first method. A shadow. If we use a glow shadow, at the moment this doesn't really do the job for us. However, if we drop the black onto that shadow, then remove the blur completely and remove the transparency completely, there we do indeed have an outline, and it retains all of the text abilities, and for some people that will do the job. The problem with using this method is that at very low resolutions it degrades very badly. It looks very, very bad when you export to bitmap, but that's only at very low resolutions. So if you keep your images at this type of resolution, that thick black outline will do the job for you. So that's using the shadow tool. The second method is using the contour tool. The contour tool icon is this crazy little concentric circles icon over here. Click on the contour tool and you'll see these arrows appear. Drag one of the arrows out and you'll see that the contour is defined by the distance you drag it out. If you have a specific distance, you can set it up here. Let's set it to 8 pixels. Now, the contour we want is actually a contour of 1. So we will set that to 1. And the colour of the contour clearly is black. So we will drag our colour from the colour line and drag it onto our outline, and there we have it. It's as with the shadow tool, you can continue to add text and the contour is added to any text that you add. So that's the contour tool. The third method is a method that I have used because it's fairly unmanageable in terms of adding text, but it does give you much greater freedom to play with that outline. What we do is we take our text and we make a copy of it. Then with that copy we use Xara's inbuilt line width tool, and we then put that underneath the first piece of text. Select both pieces of text, set the alignment as centered, and apply. There you have a nice thick black outline. The advantage with using this method is if you don't want the outline directly behind the first piece of text. For example, if we zoom in here and we set this like this, we now have an interesting outline effect which we couldn't achieve with the other two methods. And so to recap, these are the three methods that I do use, have used and will continue to use until Xara comes up with a decent external outlining or stroke tool. We've got the shadow here. Remember, the disadvantage with this is that you can now not give that piece of text a drop shadow unless you group it. So that's a peculiarity of this Xara system. This piece of text has a shadow, as can be seen here. But if I now click the Group button, it says it has no shadow. Therefore, we can give it a shadow. If I click here, you can clearly see that we now have a shadow of an object that has a shadow. And in fact, you can continue to do that by putting shadow over shadow over shadow, I imagine, until you run out of memory. So you can give that a shadow, and if that method works for you, then I say go for it. Here we have the outline created by the contour tool, and again, the disadvantage with that is that you cannot now give it a contour. It already has one. But having said that, the contour tool is, I suspect, a tool that's very, very seldom used. So using it for this purpose is probably quite effective. And the third method is to use this copy behind method, which is quite effective, especially since it allows you to move the shadow around and give the text a slightly different effect to what it would have had if the outline was perfectly centered behind the text. So there you have it.